Hello, guys. Welcome to Thrive with Megan and Harry. We bring you news, views, and commentary about Harry and Meghan. Let's thrive together, guys. Hi. Hope you're all doing well out there. I have to say thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers. And I also have to say thanks so much to Baron from Royal Sussex. He gave me a shout out a couple times, and he did that for another Sussex podcast's channel as well. And we are like the newbies here, so we have to pay homage. And I always try to do that to the old heads out here. And when I say old heads, I don't mean old as in age, I just mean old as being here first and just thank them for just legitimizing us, right? So I'm gonna just say thank you to Baron once again. It's it's so weird because I was sure I had thanked Baron several times because I've mentioned him so many times on this channel, but one of his subscribers, Ginger Lily, she pointed out to me that I needed to give him a shout out properly, I totally agree with that. And I'm like, "Ugh, I don't want to upset anybody." So I'm like, okay, sure, of course. I will make sure I do this. Yeah, so I just want to make sure I do this the right way. So I'm doing it now, guys. Thank you so much to Baron from Royal Sussex. You're amazing and handsome and so incredibly funny. He's so funny. He's like a teddy bear, guys. He's so cute, like a big teddy bear. So, anyways, okay, now, so let's move on, guys. I have a lot of stuff to talk about today, and yeah, let me just get on to it. Now, I was watching The View today. It's one of the shows that I like to watch here, and this lady called Sarah Ransom, she has accused Jeffrey Epstein of the R word and Ghislaine Maxwell of grooming her for Epstein when she was on The View today, guys. Oh, this is kind of heavy, right? So she pretty much lived in hell apparently for like 9 months on an island that was owned by Jeffrey Epstein, guys. And she was there against her will, of course. And apparently she just went through hell for 9 months there. And this is the same island, guys, that allegedly Prince Andrew has been on, right? And this Epstein guy, I mean, this guy was a good-looking guy. He was incredibly wealthy, and he could pretty much get any woman he wanted, really, to tell you the truth. But apparently, he preferred to prey on unsuspecting young girls. Isn't that so incredibly sinister? And this Ghislaine Maxwell, she had some kind of sick pleasure in just grooming these young girls. And wow, like it's very ugh. Oh man, it's hard. That's a tough topic, right? And we all know, you know, as I said before, he was really good friends with Prince Andrew. Like, what do you make of this, guys? Oh my God. Yeah, and she listen, that the lady, this lady, Sarah, she made sure to say that Ghislaine Maxwell took some kind of just like she just had some sort of like she got like a kick out of grooming these girls and then nurturing them. She was nurturing them like a mother, and then she would just break them, you know, nurture and then break. And then she repeated the process. And after the girls got raped or whatever, then and I really shouldn't say that word on here. After that, then she would kind of groom them and just be, being nice to them and comforting them in some sort of weird way, and then break them again and just allow it to happen and keep going on and on. Oh man, I was I was watching it and I was just shocked while I'm watching it. But anyways, I just thought I had mentioned this, and it just sounds incredibly sick and disgusting to me. These people were friends with Prince Andrew. Ugh. Wow. Yeah, they were friends with him. And I know, like, there's a lot of very influential people who were friends with this guy as well. But, anyways, like I said, there's pictures of them hanging out. There's even a picture of them in the palace, one of the palaces. Wow. And sitting on a like sitting on the one of the thrones at the palace, in those gold thrones. I don't know if it's gold. I'm just joking there, but I'm just whatever. I don't know if it's really gold, but either way, there's pictures of them hanging out in the palace and stuff. Oh wow, what do you guys think of this? What do you make of this? I don't know. I'm gonna have to keep watching this story, and I have to dedicate a proper episode. I'm gonna wait a little while until everything, like the trial and everything, because right now she's going through trial right now, and I have to dedicate an episode to this whole thing, to this Prince Andrew situation, right? And all this. I have to do that. It's gonna take some time though. And funny thing is about it, that's the thing I don't understand about the British press and these people. Like, this is something that they should be covering, and they should be talking about, right? Instead, it seems like they're just can't get Harry and Meghan out of their heads and out of their mouths. And this is something that is going on right now, a trial for a woman who was friends with Prince Andrew. And oh my God, and they're not talking about this. Why are they not talking about this? But they got all this time to be talking about Harry and Meghan. And today, well, of course, they're talking about Harry because, listen, let me just start over. Let me just go from the beginning when it comes to this situation with Harry that happened. So guys, apparently, okay, this is how I'm gonna do this. Apparently, Wills did a podcast, right? And according to this Ingrid Sewage woman, right? It's the single greatest podcast ever known to mankind, right? These people have no shame, seriously. So this woman, Ingrid Surridge, she was on this show, right? She was on this show with this lack, I don't know, for lack of a better term, this grumpy old man type. And she proceeded to simultaneously berate Harry. And at the same time, just completely kissed the proverbial ass of William, all in under 5 minutes. And I'm like, wow. And I'm like, wow, these people are nuts. Now, I haven't watched or listened to this podcast that William was apparently in. I don't know if, whatever. But I'm just talking about this woman, Ingrid Surge, or Sewage, or I don't know, Sewage. Anyways, I'm just talking about this podcast that she was in, right? The podcast that Wills was in, and she's talking about it. And so the way that she's talking, the long and short of the story is, the way that she's talking about Harry, right? In this when she was on this show, you would believe that Harry is like just horrible, unintelligent, like just not a good person, or the way she's talking about Harry, like she's just berating him, right? And I wonder why these people don't have that same kind of energy when it comes to Prince Andrew, for instance. They have a whole lot of oomph in their step. They have a whole lot of girth behind them when it comes to criticizing Harry. But when it comes to talking about Prince Andrew, they're always so sympathetic and so like, they always try to it's, this is all in the courts, and the courts will deal with that, and blah blah blah, and making it seem like and making it seem like if it's not a big deal when it comes to Prince Andrew. But let Harry say, oh, it's okay. He said, what did he say yesterday? He said, it's okay to quit your job. And Harry's trying to say it's okay to quit your job if the job is causing you stress, if the job is, like that's what Harry is trying to say. He's trying to say it's okay to let go of things sometimes, basically. But the way that these people have twisted it, they are making it seem like Harry is saying just quit your job, and just because Harry has money and he's a rich person, he that he should never be telling anybody about that, that they should quit their job. Like, they kind of twisted everything in a way to make Harry look bad. Basically, that's all they do, and it's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, okay? The way they love to berate Harry and talk down to Harry and all this stuff, while they got that ass Andrew in their backyard and they're not talking about him. That's the thing that I don't understand about these people. Ghislaine Maxwell is on trial right now. She was friends with Andrew, right? This is the kind of people that are his friends. They were good friends. They were in the palace and all that. And they, instead of spending the time to talk about Andrew and they're harassing Harry right now. Instead of them worried about Andrew, they're all over Harry this morning and yesterday, talking about everything, every little thing that Harry does and says. What is wrong with these people? Oh my God. Anyways, I didn't mean to go on such a tangent, but it's really, really, it's unbelievable. So anyways, let me just calm down a bit and get back into the spirit of how I like to do this thing. Anyways, so my God. Okay, so anyways, this lady Ingrid Surge, right? She literally, oh my God, these people, I don't know. I got so upset watching these people because I have to kind of watch them to know what's going on and to know, like, oh, so anyways, let me get back to what I was talking about now. Anyways, so Ingrid Surge was on this talk show and talking about the difference between Harry and Wills, right? And of course, the whole narrative. Harry bad, Will good, that whole narrative, which is really stupid. I mean, and literally I was actually watching this other Australian show. Let me just drink some water. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Okay, literally, I was watching this Australian morning show, this silly ass morning show that literally said, oh, William is just doing everything just right and Harry just can't get anything right. That's what he said. And I was like, wow, these people are ridiculous. And, I have to say, I disagree. You know what? I think you so-called journalists in the UK need to be honest with people and let them know, right, that you've got an agenda and you're not being fair, right? Because it's like they all say this stuff. They have an agenda, right? Then, so they always seem to twist, like I said before, twist everything Harry says and puts the worst spin on it possible. Everything that Harry says, they twist it and they turn it and they make it negative. Everything. Like, for instance, when, like I said, when Harry made the comment about it's okay to quit your job, they completely twisted it to make it seem like Harry is out of touch or something. And they started mentioning his $15 million house and the Netflix deal, the usual. That's what they started to do. These people are so disingenuous. disingenuous, guys. They don't talk about that billion-dollar family, you know, that takes taxpayer money. They don't talk about the castles and the palaces that the queen owns. They don't they can't but they still can't wait to mention the mansion that Harry bought with his money that he earned. Okay? Harry is not taking taxpayers' money right now. You know who's taking taxpayers' money right now? Prince Andrew. Okay? Prince Andrew is taking taxpayers' money now. You're not talking about him, but you're talking about Harry that worked for his money and he has a $50 million house and he worked for it. Harry's out there giving advice and doing things, doing whatever he does to make his money. And now you're talking about his $50 million house, but you're not talking about Prince Andrew that lives in your castles and your palaces, and you're okay with that, but you're talking about Harry? Really? I want to know. Don't these okay, don't these audiences that watch these silly ass shows in the UK, don't they ask these questions? How can you justify a woman that has a golden piano, right? How can you justify that? And now you're trying to vilify a man who actually bought his own house? Am I losing my mind here, guys? I wonder. Oh, man. And you know what? Also, when I was like watching these shows to see what they had to say about Harry, they even had the gall to say that, oh, William is donating his fee from the podcast to charity. I'm sorry, but doesn't William live in a palace? Doesn't he take taxpayers' money? So whether or not he donates that money or not, it doesn't make no difference because William is taking taxpayers' money anyways, right? And he lives in a mansion. He lives in a castle, not even a mansion. He lives in a castle, a palace. So what is I don't understand what you're trying to tell me here, people. That he's donated. And it's just ridiculous. Listen, now Harry is a working person now, right? And I'm sorry, but Harry and Meghan donated thousands of dollars this year alone, okay? Just recently, Harry and Meghan donated $25,000 to Melba, the lady with that amazing soul food restaurant in Harlem. That, you know, and I did a podcast about that. Well, I talked about it a couple times, right? And she in turn donated that $25,000 to her staff. That's what she did. And that was amazing. And then they donated another $20,000 to Brittany Sparks, that lady who started that nonprofit to help kids. Meghan donated that on the Ellen Show. So what are they trying to say here? And in this year alone, and I did say that I have to do a podcast about all, you know, everything that Harry and Meghan have done in the past couple years since they left that godforsaken island, man. I have to do a podcast about that because these people, they just, you know, they don't like to amplify the good that they do. All they do is try to berate Harry and just, you know, make it look like Harry's some, you know, doesn't know what he's doing or something. And I'm like, that's not true. No. And they have done a lot of amazing things, and that's why we're here. That's why we're here, actually. We're here to combat that. So, man, I was so pissed when I was watching these things. Anyways, let me go on. So, you know, from the way this Ingrid Surridge woman, the way she described William, it made it seem like he was doing something that was groundbreaking, talking about mental health, right? When Harry already covered that in the Me You Can't See documentary that he did with Oprah. Listen, it's telling to see how they can grasp at straws to try to make wills look good. They're just trying to make wills look good, and they gotta really work really hard. But listen, do you remember, guys, the way they berated Harry for doing that Emmy nominated documentary with Oprah when Harry did that? Do you remember how they talked about it? And now that Wills is doing a podcast about the exact same thing, that Harry did, all of a sudden, Will is the most amazing thing since sliced bread. These people are incredible. I mean, the hypocrisy is real, people. I don't know how else to put this. It's like so hypocritical. And isn't it funny that all Wills has to do is just show up and copy and paste everything that Harry did for Harry did this like 6 months ago or something, okay? And he is praised by the people like these people like Ingrid Surge, and and these people. It's just pathetic. It's pathetic. These broadcasters in the UK seem to live in a completely different world to the rest of us. I mean, these people are so incredibly blatant about pitting Harry and William against each other, right? And it's just plain pathetic. It's pathetic. Who put them up to this? Why do they care to berate Harry like this? Why? Who put them up to doing this? Is it William trying to make himself look better? I don't know. I mean, the way they talk about William, you'd think that he was like the coming Messiah or something. And then when we actually sit there and we look at William, you're like, is this the guy they're talking about? It's like Willie, like the way that they talk up William is like, when you actually look at William, it's like, really? Is that what you see? Because we don't see it, people. We don't see it. No matter how much you try to tell us, we don't see it, people. Okay? So, listen. Oh, man. The guy that they are trying to make William out to be doesn't exist. Just like I said in a podcast recently, I said that the people that they're trying to make Harry and Meghan out to be in the press, it doesn't exist. It's the same way with William. The person that they are trying to portray William as, he doesn't exist. We see who William is, people. We see, okay? Just the same way we can see who Harry and Meghan are, we see who William is. And no amount of talking Wills up in the public is going to fly, okay? Because you look at William and all you see is an awkward, boring, or cold fish. That's all you see. Just awkward and boring. That's all I see when I look at him. Because William has lost all the charisma he ever had, okay? And I'm actually not even sure if he ever had any charisma. Maybe it was just the British media talking him up to us, and we were listening and we were thinking, oh yeah, he maybe he does. But the more I look at it, I'm like, no, I don't think he ever did. Okay. Listen, the way that they talk William up and the blatant contrast when they talk about Harry it's so one-sided, it's laughable, and it's also incredibly disingenuous. Right? And don't the British citizens recognize this? But they know, I'm sure they know this, because nobody looking at the two of them, Harry and Wills, nobody looking at the two of them are gonna say that William is like who he's this or he's that. No, he's not. William is just is there. I don't know what else to tell you. He doesn't have the charisma that Harry does. I'm sorry. He just does not. So much as you want to say how much, he's done and how much whatever he is and trying to, like, we can see with our own eyes who he is, okay? So anyways, I just think that is incredibly insulting. I just think he's incredibly, it's incredibly insulting. If somebody is trying to manipulate the public in this way, and I wouldn't be happy if I were one of these people. And these people, like, they're trying to attempt to tell the people how to think. And I would be pissed if I was one of those people living there. I would be very pissed because I'm like, you're telling me everything about William is great and good and everything about Harry is horrible. Like, I don't know if I believe this. I want to find out for myself, right? And that's how it has to be. But it's crazy, guys. Oh my God, this episode is not going the way I want it to go. But anyways, you know what? Every episode can't be the same, and I was just a little pissed at what the way how they were talking about Harry in the press, in the UK press, you know. But anyways, I actually need to move on, and I'm gonna talk about something different here for a second, and it's something that's I feel really horrible about. All. So, guys, you've seen me do a podcast before and mentioned the Nick Cannon show and Nick Cannon himself, right? And as I told you before, this show is my new favorite show, right? It's fun, it's lighthearted, it's always positive, and he's always saying nice things about Harry and Meghan, right? So he's a supporter of them. So unfortunately, though, guys, he has suffered a huge loss recently. He told us that he lost his youngest baby boy, son, Zen Scott Cannon. He was born on June 23rd, 2021. He was only 6 months old, and he unfortunately had a brain tumor, and he succumbed to that apparently. So I'm going to quote a little bit of what Nick said. He said, "People have always told me to pray for a miracle, and I did pray for a miracle. I prayed for the miracle of God's strength. The Lord puts the most and heaviest weight on the shoulders of his strongest soldiers. So I'm here to show that I can fight through this." And yeah, that's just bad. It's horrible news, guys. But anyways, yeah, so as Nick said as well, he said, "We don't just go through it, we grow through it." And I have to say I agree totally with that, right? That's just some of what Nick said when he announced his baby son's passing, and I only just saw he put it up. He posted it, and my heart just goes out to him and his family. It's very sad. It's probably the hardest thing. No, it's not probably. It is the hardest thing that a parent could go through, to lose a child, and my heart aches for you, Nick. I am an ardent supporter of you, and I just want to say to you my humble condolences, and to baby angel Zen, rest in power to you. Rest in power. Ah, man. Listen, guys, we never know how long we have on this earth. And while we're here, we need to hug each other, be good to each other, and just love on each other, right? Positivity all the way. All the way. And to those, it's almost the same. You know what? I see it. Okay. So Megan went through, she had a miscarriage, right? I also had a miscarriage in my life as well. I have my daughter right now. She's 12. She's a beautiful girl, but I had a miscarriage at one point as well, too, right? And Megan talked about the losses we share, right? And this, even though, I mean, losing any, even if it's the baby hasn't been born yet, a miscarriage, it's almost the same thing. It's pretty much the same thing. You're losing something that's a part of you. You're losing just an angel, basically. Babies that die, I consider them to be angels. So there you go. It's an angel that, yeah, in our midst. So, and so it's a hard, tough thing. And yeah, it's so tough. But we move forward in strength, and we move forward in power. And yeah, I didn't want to end it talking about this, but it's just something that happened, and I had to talk about it because, like I told you guys before, on this channel, I will talk about other things. If something comes up and I need to talk about it, I will talk about it because this is how I am. You know, I just, if I have to share something, I will share it. And thank you guys so much for everything. Thanks for coming and thanks for listening. And yeah, we like to be lighthearted on this show, on this podcast. Okay. We like to be lighthearted, but sometimes things are tough and we go through things sometimes. So, we just lean on each other and we will get through. Right? So, yeah, so it's a hard time sometimes, and it's okay to talk about it. So, anyways, as I always like to say, Megan said this once, and I like to repeat it. It's not enough to just survive something. That's not the point of life. You've got to thrive. You've got to feel happy. Unquote. Bye, guys, and have a blessed day. Thank you.